Fate Extella Link, and today we're playing Francis Drake. And honestly, I don't have too much of an opinion about her. Uh, I know I've been heavily slacking on this, but I've been meaning to do this. But she is from Fate, Last Encore. I keep forgetting to mention that shit because I do. So, there we go. But yeah, no, I've been meaning to do that for you guys, but I haven't. So, yeah. We got my theme support going on here with the heroes of the game. So, but yeah, no, guys. This is a rider class servant, and yeah. Before we get started, guys, into the guy itself, I will already tell you that there will be no. I do not have my computer in front of me, so any sort of comment, like any comment made on my on any video of mine, unfortunately, for some odd ass reason, I've been having severe trouble with my internet for my computer. Like, it's saying it's logged in to the, like, it's saying it's connected to the internet, but it keeps saying that, you know, it needs internet connection and stuff like that. So I'm not sure why it's doing this. I've been trying to figure it out. I mean, I've done hard resets, I've done completely shutting it down. I haven't used my computer in I don't know how long. Pretty much since this started, hoping it might be able to go, but you know, I'm actually gonna see if I can't get it to work now. But just as a fair warning, if I do not comment or you know, talk about what you're doing, you know, anything, that is why. Is because I merely can't. So I just want to mess with somebody off, but I physically cannot. Here, I will try it while I'm explaining everything to you guys as of what's going on. Next up, I have a new USB drive. So, with that being stated, it's like, what the hell is that metaphor? What that means is initially all that I'm pretty much saying is now I'm able to go back onto like Share Factory and, you know, manually make my videos and stuff, because I remember I promised a funny Astolfo video or a little Astolfo music video, just for funsies and stuff like that. So I'm just giving you guys that heads up. What do you have with this? I don't remember if I tried that. But yeah, guys, I mean, I got one of those, so now expect those videos to come on up for whenever I go to play. It looks like my internet's still being shitty, or it's the computer, and it's giving me a hell of a trouble right now trying to set this up. So I'm trying my best to make sure this gets put up for you guys, so I can give feedback and shit. But at this moment, it looks like as a future, until I announce otherwise, I may not be able to respond to comments or anything like such, because this is actually getting absurd with how bad this is getting with all this. So it looks like, son of a bitch, it looks like right now I'm not going to be able to go and look at comments or nothing due to this. My computer's completely janked up. I don't know what's going on, and yeah, sorry if I cannot, like, when my computer and stuff becomes optional again, I will go back over the comments and stuff and, you know, make sure to make a comment and something. But yeah, I cannot get anything to go right now, and if I can, it's being a royal pain in the ass, actually. So here, it looks like I'm starting to get somewhere. Whoever just made a comment, I'm trying my best on how to get this to work and to see that comment, so bear with me. But other than that, other than this bullshit computer stuff going on, hilarious. So, your internet works, mine goes down. Hilarious. But, no guys, so, based off of all this, I can't, like, it's just gonna be a royal pain in the ass right now. As of having this set up. Come on. Piece of shit. Work. Come on. Never mind. I am not wasting my time with this. Any sort of comment, I'll just throw off into the next, when I can. But until then, that's that. I don't want to waste too much time with this. So, but let's move on, to more important matters. Besides the fact I cannot access my internet off my computer, my system's the only thing to do. I'm gonna try to go and look at it on my console and see if I can't, look at all this stuff there. But I mean, I will promise you when I can respond, I will. I probably can respond. It's just I'm not doing it on console because it's a pain in the ass to type. That's the reason why I have so many misnamed streams, because it's a pain in the ass. So, but we're gonna be playing with Francis Drake today, and she's a writer. And honestly, I feel like she had so much potential, but she just got thrown out. Honestly, that's what it feels like. But I mean, you know what? It works. And honestly, her character was kind of fun. For, I want to say, the 2, maybe 3 episodes she was in. I think she was in a couple of episodes in the anime. Her character was still fun, so. But Francis Drake has an attack of 1650 and a defense of 1,500 at level cap. Now, she is one of those servants where I did not set up on this account, so that's the reason why, they were just, heavily just not on theirs, because, and, yeah. If I'm not mistaken, hold on guys, I might have an idea. I have an idea. Okay. And actually, I have an idea of how to fix this. So, bear with me. I'm not happy to do this, but I'm pulling it back down to the mini screen until my computer goes and works up. Now I could see what's going on behind the screen, behind everything, and then you could understand where I'm coming from whenever I pull up a point. So, I'm not happy to do this, but I mean, until then, this is what I have to play with. And even then, I'm debating on if I want to do this or not. I might just continuously go and, actually no, because this is a pain in the ass to read from all the way back here on the other side of the room. I'm gonna keep the messages hidden. Plus, I mean, I don't think any user really minds, but any questions or comments, they may be embarrassed to ask, knowing everyone can see them. So I'm gonna keep that closed off. Whenever I see something pop up, I'm gonna pull this up and I'm gonna look at your comment from now. I'm not happy about doing it, but still. She was in fact the very first servant that was fought, and fucking stingy. Total dick. I'm glad he died. Honestly, I was hoping he died sooner, but hey. Well, true, these aren't professionalized streams. They're not, top notch, but I don't give two shits. I'm just saying because, some people do have a problem with it, so. But, I mean, I'll figure something out, or I'll just, go back over and address the problem later in future streams or makeup streams and stuff like that. I'll go over, comments and stuff like that that goes on. I think that's probably the best idea right now is, whenever I go for makeup excuse me, whenever I do a makeup stream, I'll go and address any comment in previous streams. So, until my computer's up and working. So, with that being stated, I would, fucking hell, I keep saying, like, I sound stupid, I will admit, as of late, I've been, my mind's completely not into this, and, you know, I've been actually thinking to, cancel out this, guides until I get the computer back up and running, but, anyways, when it comes down to, son of a bitch, Francis Drake, I keep saying, because I keep forgetting her name. I'm gonna just call her Drake from now on, because I'm not gonna constantly, you know, say her name, but, when it comes down to her abilities, I found her to be honestly one of the better people, not because of, you know, I just had fun with her, because I got to shoot people and I found it funny, and if you've watched previous streams of mine, like, I do believe in the Platinum, stream of when I got the Platinum Trophy, or PvP ones, I played like Lancelot, and I always made a big deal about how I got to shoot the shit out of people. Same concept here, I like doing it. So with that being said, let me just take those off. I'm going to first start off with the Rider class skill, a rush attack, the crossfire skill. I love crossfire just because, you know, all you're gonna do is gonna take your damn guns, pretty much like the icon suggests. You'll take your guns and you shoot the shit out of your opponent. Like, you're gonna just spin around, shoot your character, and, you know, you rush them forward and shit like that. Pretty much I just got an excuse to shoot you. That's literally one of the biggest reasons. Plus, it's a rush attack skill, and I think I made it quite clear I love rush attack skills. I always have. And then that has a 20.15 attack power with a 10-second cooldown. This is, like I said, a Rider class skill. Very nice. Especially when, you know, I do prefer to have some sort of class skill on there. This is where, this is the one I'll be using. I mean, some people would recommend using boarding ship, and it's a very good skill, and I have used that in a few builds. However, in this build, I think, let me check my notes actually, because I actually have a few builds right here. I'm going to actually compromise with some of these. I'm going to match up a few of my builds into more of a, instead of like a very biased, like gun-based or oriented build, or like rush-oriented, where, you know, stuff like that. I think I'm going to compromise here into more of a mixture, which I did not do yet, so bear with me as of that. But I'm going to add her other rider skill, and which is also another rush attack, which has a 20.15 attack power with a 12-second cooldown. Very close. Actually, it's the same power. Both rider skills have the same exact power. The only difference is it's a 2-second cooldown, which is on boarding ship. So when it comes down to it, I really don't like. This is where some of my the builds differ. Is because of their power being exactly the same. One is, you know, a little more oriented to, you know, cool, you know, closer, you know, smaller cooldown, where the other one's like, you know what, you know, I prefer this move just because of that, or funsies, or whatever it may be. But initially, if you're looking for power and you want a, you know, class skill, they're the exact same, so either one would do you good. It's just how you prefer to play it. However, I like crossfire, you know, like both these skills pretty equally, just because, you know, they're both fun to use. I like rush attacks. But the next skill is going to be full fire. It's a long range attack, and, you know, very much like the last skill, you're going to be able to move around, shoot your guns, and shit like that. And honestly, this feel like full fire feels a lot like shooting wildly description wise. However, it doesn't, you know, this is a straight line, or, you know, this is where you go forward, where full fire, you control the direction you go into. So it's pretty much it's a combination of both a boarding ship and crossfire. You get to go forward at a decent speed, doing damage, and you get to shoot your guns like crossfire in the same manner. However, it's combining both skills, but is decreasing your attack power. Kind of, I would say halving it, but not really halving it. But it hits you on your power, if that's what you're looking for. And then the final one, I was very like based off of the skill set. Usually, I would go with Golden Anchor just because it's funny to drop just to drop somebody on somebody's head. Always, I found that hilarious, and I'm gonna put that in here temporarily while I debate on if I want to go. Like, I'm gonna go over most of her skills because she's one of those servants. Like I said, I have multiple builds for her and stuff like that, and she's enjoyable in my opinion. But I'm gonna go over most of them, not all of them, but most of them at the very least. I will go over and, you know, give that general gist, but ultimately I'd still tell you my official build, what I personally like going with, or the combination of both. So, but what this is pretty much going to do, it has an attack power of 19.20 and a 10-second cooldown, and you just pretty much drop a golden, you know, you drop anchors on someone's fucking head. That's it. You just summon anchors from the sky and it smacks them on the head. This is an area attack skill. Like, it's not gonna go and do it directly in front of you. Maybe, you know, I don't remember exactly if there's a pattern to it, but that, you know, you just drop anchors in your immediate, you know, certain, you know, radius of your character. That's literally all it does. So, you know, you can pretty much, someone's coming up from behind, you hit that, you smack them in the head from behind, maybe. You know, it's one of those things where it's like, well, it works type deal. And, you know, that's what, you know, I like the skill about, is because, you know, this could be one of those, you think you got me? Yeet, you ain't got shit type skill. So, that is a very useful skill, and that's actually in my, rushings. Like, I put that as a part of my aboard ship build, where it's more of a rush type deal, but as a matter of perspective, then you have, okay, this, I'm gonna just call it Macabre, just because I'm not even gonna attempt that. Which, fun fact, one of my, someone I am really close to actually has that name. So, somebody I'm, you know, a very good person I know has that same exact name, so, fun fact. And actually, in the future, I will say some of the games I'll be streaming, like this game, Macabre's the one who got it for me. So, you know, that's also another reason why I'm pointing it out, is because, yeah, kudos, you know, to them for, you know, getting this for me, so. But this is a close range attack, and it's pretty much like a rush attack meets, like, in my opinion, is a rush attack, actually. Although it claims to be a close range, this is a rush attack, honestly. Which I put on my aboard ship, and sometimes I leave Golden Anchor off that, you know, build, but, or, you know, off my rush attack build, but the reason why I say is more of a rush skill is because, you know, you rush forward and you're just slashing the shit out of everything with your swords. That's pretty much all you're doing. So, you know, since you're rushing forward in a certain, you know, whether you control it or not, you rush forward and you hit everything in your path, really. So, initially that's why I call it a rush skill, and I'm actually going to replace the Golden Anchor with that, just because. And that's honestly the last skill I recommend using, although it's more of, you know, the character personally doing something over, like, if you can't tell, this build's is not ship oriented, like smashing into smithereens, or smashed into smithereens, excuse me, and make way. They're all based off of, those moves are based off of your ship. Although boarding ship is clearly, you know, based off of ship combat as well, it is a rush attack skill, which I did say I do like. But if I want, like, I prefer, you know, skills that don't involve the ship, mainly because, you know, I could care less about her two long range attacks. I was never too, you know, fond of using long range attacks as her anyways. So next up we have the Yeah, I told you I didn't touch her. Not on this one. But next we have our install skills. Same thing, different day. Attack skills, defense, and then support. Then after I give you the official build for the non-double build, I'm going to give you the double build skill. Now, I mean, my preference will have minor tweaks, and I will tell you this. If you want to go more long range with her, I will go and tell you the differences between the two skill sets. And pretty much by long range, I recommend doing the same exact skills as just... Actually, before I get onto these, I'm actually going to go back to the active skills and tell you the second set. Like I said, usually I go with, one skill set, but when I tell you, I have multiple sets, I try to give off a couple more instead of just one build. But the secondary build, which I will not be using during the guide as a demonstration, will actually have Smash to Smithereens, and then it's also going to have the Make Way. That's what those are gonna have. I was thinking about putting Arena, the area attack skill on it, but at that same point I'm like, no. But this is also a powerhouse build for say. This also takes off, oops, there we go. This is a very powerhouse build as well, and is more long range rush attack skills. So, but I will not be using those. I will show you the distinct differences within those. Son of a bitch. Oh yeah. Thank you for pulling that side comment up. That is very true. Usually as a rider, whenever there's a reduced earth, while you're using your mount, the mount is also increased speed and stuff. She does not get that. It feels nothing on there unless if you tack on like several different reduced earths, and then you'll feel it. Her boat's not necessarily quick, so as a rider, I feel like she's a complete failure. I just think they just wanted to have her in the series and just like, fuck it. We can't think of nothing else. Let's throw her as a rider. Because, it's one of those things I'm like, boats, why not pirate? I'm not sure if Francis Drake is actually based on somebody. I've not looked into that. So, and I have went looking into each servant and what they're supposed to be based off of. So, and if I do remember to do that in the future, I will tell you, exactly, tell you what they are and, a little bit about each character and who they're based off of. Not too in depth, but, enough to be like, oh, okay, that makes sense. For say, Nero is based off of the whole, pretty much exactly what it is in, the anime is just not quite that. She was the Emperor of Rome, but it was actually a he, and, the minor differences and changes and stuff like that. Kind of for say, I'll compare a little bit during these as well. I'm not doing it with Francis Drake, clearly because I just said I don't know nothing about her, but for say, with how I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna pretty much I'm gonna use, instead of using Nero as an example, because I just wanted to look up who that was based off of to see, if that was actually a thing. But a good example is, I'm going to use Mulan, the Disney movie Mulan, which was based off of a true events, but, I'll tell you the big differences between them. Spoiler, for, anyone who has not seen the Disney movie Mulan, mute me for the next, minute. Otherwise, who cares? But much like, Mulan was based off somebody off real life, I forgot who it was. She snuck in, stole her, father's shit, blah, blah, blah. Same event is just, when Mulan was caught, the difference is, she doesn't, keep her life and be turned into a hero. No, she fucking gets, decapitated type deal. They'll give you defined differences in, who they're meant to be. I just didn't care to go into depth about Mulan because this is not about Mulan. So, yeah. Fucking comments, I swear. Oh yeah, if I'm not mistaken, every servant is actually based off of a real person. It's just, I thought it'd be fun to put a few fun facts, teach you guys something, because clearly these schools ain't doing their job, let me tell you. All they have you doing is sitting in a classroom reading Romeo and Juliet instead of learning about, something awesome like, oh, I don't know, Arthur and, King Arthur and all his bullshit, or any other cool people. Instead, they got us learning about the same shit, so. Or, something that's stupid, so. But I'll give you guys fun facts if I can remember, or if I know it, I'll tell you it. I will not go out of my way, like, during the stream and look it up for you. It's just, And no, before you ask, I'm not going to go back over, like, for, like, let's say Charlemagne, I am not going to go back over, make a completely new thing just to give you off your fun facts. Like, I will only do that if I'm remaking the guide altogether for a new build type. Instead of being offensive, you want it more defensive, then I'll go and cover the entire thing again with that's, and add those in it. But before you ask, no, I'm not going to just, do extra shit that I don't need to do. So, but besides all that extra bullshit, after seeing her character in Extella Link, I couldn't, like, I don't remember it too well to have, well, not Extella Link, this is Extella Link. Duh. No, unlike in, the actual anime, though, I don't remember too much about her character. I just remember her sitting in a bar drinking. Like, that's literally all I remember of her character. And I know she's a pirate. That's about it. Sorry if it's not the best, but yeah, that's all I remember. But based off of her skills, though, it did give me kind of an insight on how to build her a little bit more. And not only did I use the skills, I also used her unique skills. And because of that, it helped figure out what is what. And since 2 of these, at the very least, if not 3 of these, are skills you cannot bump up, really all you have to play with is magic resisting golden rule. Now, I don't usually put golden rule into the into my builds, however, especially during these builds because you're trying to fight and shit, but I mean, I still do it. It's just I haven't had a reason to. No one's had that unique skill until now, which makes me going which, I'm gonna immediately tell you that, I am putting golden rule in here. You could suck a dick if you don't like it. Replace it with something else, alright? But, I will also go and take that skill out and replace it with something just in case if you don't need the money. Like, I don't need the money, but I'm still putting it on her because I need to redo that because, yeah. Plus, I'm greedy, so, I'm still going to put it on her. But with that being said, we're going to get into her attack skills. Like I say, and like I have said and always will say, Martial Blessing all the way, just because I like having that extra power. Although, she is also one of the rare cases where I would say she don't necessarily need it. She's one of those where I will and will not go without it. Martial Blessing on her, like, she feels like her, but it's one of those things where I'm like, you know what? Nah, I'm cool without it, but I'm cool with it. So, when I said, to always put it on her until I say otherwise, this is one of the cases where I'll be like, you know what? Don't put it on her, but if you feel more comfortable putting it on her, put it on her. Type deal, so. Next, oops, where's my cursor at? Oh. Big brain, let me tell you. Next, though, I will actually take the, long-range attacks, and I will say, you know what, they got long-range attacks, let's use that, because, even during fighting her, she had her, whatchamacallit, like, she did, like, in the story, Oh yeah, it's okay. Now, besides like the rare, like the rare few things, like because even when fighting her as the CPU, like in the very first battle, she uses her cannons a lot, and even though this build isn't centralized around that, this is one of those times I'm like, I'll still put the attack range just because. Plus, like I said with both builds, although it's not a net long range attack, it's still I'm still using guns, and I'm not sure if you figured it out, but unless if you like going around pistol whipping everybody, or little handguns, they shoot, they're projectiles, they have range on them. So, come on, common sense here. This is one of those few times where that skill may not seem, like it belongs, but because of my guns, my usage of the guns, I have it. Oh, cool. So, let me put that down. So, that whole thing. Honestly, Golden Rule is a good thing for a pirate. Oh yeah, Martial Blessing should be on everyone. I do know I said that, like literally I say that all the time. And did that change? Like I say constantly put Martial Blessing on my servant, but at that same point that is damn near annoying, let me tell you. But I know I say to put Martial Blessing on everybody until I say otherwise, because like I said, if you don't use active skills, you might as well just use it for cosmetics. Like if you're just like, you don't use any sort of ability skill or whatever it is, you might as well just play as anybody for anybody. If you're going for just no active skills, you might as well just play as either Lu Bu or fuck, what was his name? Fuck. Shit. Actually, I'm gonna go check. Hold on. I'm gonna check real quick. Hold on, guys. This is gonna fucking kill me not knowing. Oh, it's Magna Carl. Rex Magnus Carl. I'm gonna just call him Rex, alright? But, otherwise I'd recommend using those two troops if you're going for just straight up, if you don't use abilities. Although their looks aren't, so impressive, is that simple fact that, if you're not playing with that, you're just pretty much doing cosmetics. And if you're doing stat-wise, might as well go with those two because they have the highest power in defense in the entire game. So, it's pretty much just, looks after a while. So it's like, fuck that noise. So, but because I'm a ability type of guy anyways, I'm putting up Martial Blessing anyways. But like I said, this is still one of those incidents where I say, I don't mind if she does or does not have it. Mainly because half of the time I don't use her, so, just because there's other servants I prefer to play as. But since her power is already, pretty high anyways, and not only is she high powered, I still have high range on her, so I could care less, honestly, on Martial Blessing standing. Next up, though, because I don't do this very much, I am actually gonna put the extra attack poison on him. Now, it'd be like, why the hell do that? She has nothing to do with poison. Like, she has nothing spectacular to her poison. There's nothing like that. You're right, she don't. However, she's a pirate. She's not upfront and honest. And because of that, every time I think of a pirate and poison, something tells, just the entire thought of pirate. Okay. That pirate's gonna, spike your drink with poison. Literally the only reason why I'm having this is just because, whenever someone thinks poison, they think, someone's, being sneaky or just honest. Very much like a pirate would be. So, with that being stated, it is what it is. Oh yeah, if you don't use active skills, that's a good point. If you don't use active skills, you're either going for a challenge run, or you might as well play something else. Or what I think, you're just trying to be funny and cocky, and you have no life to where you literally remembered every last movement, and you could do this beyond when you sleep and shit like that. But initially, if you don't use, actually, I will say I'm going to pull that out of my ass. I'm gonna go up against the final boss. I'm gonna go against the 2 final boss 150s in the EX battle, the Nightmare. I'm gonna go in there with any servant, and I'm just gonna go and see if I can't beat both of them with just my just with regular attacks. I highly doubt I'm gonna succeed, but I will do that for funsies. I'm gonna get my ass handed to me. Don't get me wrong. I mean, it does seem useless, but it's still that funsies about knowing, just because it's one of those things. Plus, I do believe they actually have a usage. It's just not as blunt and obvious. So, but because of our magic resistance skill, we're gonna tap magic resist on here. Hold on, why do I have that one? Shit. See, I have too many skills. I seriously need to start getting rid of these. But initially, besides the magic resist, the only thing I put on is obstinate, just because, her defense isn't as high as her power, and, at the very least, I want to keep those a little bit even, so I would put it against enemy heroes, but, not exactly. I like just having a broad thing. Plus, on top of that, much like the anime, she went down like a sack of potatoes. She went down like a preschool bitch. It was disappointing. And it feels the same way here. She goes down like a preschool bitch in this too. Oh, true, yeah. I mean, that is an easy... it's still easy, but I'm going to do a complete cocky challenge run where I'm taking off all my install skills, I'm taking off all my abilities. I'm not going to use any of it. I'm going to just run up and see if I can't. The goal is just to take out one of them, to be honest. The reason why I'm going for that level is... Actually, it's either that one or the one before. I forgot the name of it, but you get the general gist. The goal is to go up against 150s by myself, without no assistance within, install skills or anything like that, just to prove that's what makes a hero so unique to their abilities and stuff. Next up, we got our support skills, and like I said, I'm just going to put Golden Rule immediately. If you were not to have Golden Rule, I would definitely put in the... Shit, what is it? What is it called? What is it called? Son of a bitch. Fuck, I forgot the name. Before I tell you, I seen Collector, and I'm like, Collector also seems like something that, they should have put her as a unique skill, just because Collector feels like a pirate thing, so. But besides that, I will put, if it weren't Golden Rule, I would tell you to put on the Piranha Burst, or the Burst Poison on there to complement the extra attack, but I would put that here, but I'm putting that on instead. And what we're going to do here is, because I'm going to just remind you of what each attack skills are, and okay. Close range, rush, rush, long. Okay, with that being stated, oops, overshot it. So with that being said, because there's a 2 rush skills, I'm going to definitely, if I can find it, put on the rider skill. What the fuck is it? I lost my own skill. Huh. Oh, it was right here. But I put on the Imperial Rider, or the, I do believe, Lancer. Yeah, it's either Lancer or Rider. It's just because she's a Rider, I just want to put on the Rider thing, just because. But just because, if I'm not mistaken, having, Imperial privilege with your class on it gives you an extra bonus instead of just you know, tapping on an Imperial Lancer on a rider. Although it does do the same thing, it gives a slight increase of, you know, usage. Like, let's say it increases your power by 13.2 from a Lancer on a rider. But if you use a rider on a rider, it would give you like 14.8 type deal. Like, not too significant, just significant enough to where it can, you know, change the entire sway of the game. And with that, it makes me go and say, you know, usually by this time you would think I'd put like fucking reduced earth on because of the movement. Like I said, with it, I can't tell the difference unless if I overload her with it, but even then, no. But then is between the the assassin slash saber, which I'm gonna tap on assassin because I'm gonna go close range with this one. And the reason why I'm putting assassin instead of like the archer one is because I already have clairvoyance on there, which is increasing my range, which is supposed to support the pistol part of the build. So with that being said, I already have something boosting up my guns and projectiles, so I'm going to balance it out a little more by putting assassin slash saber on there. Why did I choose assassin over berserker? Well, not berserker, but saber. Mainly because, you know, pirates aren't honest. Neither are assassins. So I just thought it'd be funny to put assassin on there instead. My legitimate reason. That's like my whole reasoning of doing that. So with that being said, this is my straight up build for her without her double skills. So I mean, you would think you can guess the you know, with the install skills, and honestly this is how, like, the only difference between, I know I stated something about showing you the differences between the two, and I will. If I was to use the long range skill set, I'm going to take off Imperial Privilege Assassin, and I'm going to go, or her ship build, which happens to be heavily influenced on, you know, longer range attacks. I'm going to take that off and tack on an archer skill, and keep on the rider skill because still her riding stuff is still boat involved. I'm keeping clairvoyance on there, and I'm actually going to take off the extra attack and, you know, put on a shit. And I'm just going to put on anti-hero just to put a little more supportive. Like, the ship and the mount is more of a supportive thing over an up-front thing. This is more of a supportive build along the whole ship use. So with that being said, that's why this dominates more of as a defensive supportive over in-your-face type of play. So granted, I'm not going to use this build, I'm just giving the general gist so you had that general idea of the minor differences I chose within each one of those. And I gave you more of a reason. The reason why I put anti-hero there is just so that she doesn't go down as quick, like I said she does. Although yes, her defense is, you know, close enough to her attack power, she went down extremely easy in the anime, and honestly it feels like she goes down extremely easy in this as well. It just feels just like that, so I decided to put a little less offensive and more defensive, and, you know, increase her more on the longer range fight style. So next up, if you haven't guessed it, we're going to take off the Imperial Privilege Rider, and let me make sure I have it set on double skills, and I'm going to put on the Imperial Privilege Rider slash Martial Blessing. Now, you'd be like, oh, I could instantly take off Martial Blessing. Again, don't jump the gun. No, that's not what we're doing here. We are keeping Golden Rule on there. And this is where both, like, I would show you both differences within the double skill build of it, but actually I'm going to show you that too, just because. But I mean, we have that to support that. We're taking off both Obstinate and Magic Resist. And we're going to just put on the Obstinate Magic Resist. I'm just going to put Frost just on. I'm putting Frost on her because if you've ever played against, if you ever use Frost, that shit is seriously annoying to play with, actually. And thank goodness Frost is not something you have online. Otherwise, I would spam that like a bitch, let me tell you. That is stupidly annoying. But, I mean, Frost also, you know, that chance of running into enemies that can freeze you and, you know, lock you into place, this is a counteraction. Plus, initially, I hate fucking Frost anyways. And since there's no base magic resist here besides the institution variation of it, I'm just gonna go with one of the elementals. But at that same point, I'm actually going to disregard what I said about Frost. I'm actually going to take and put on the magic resistant institution, and this is where I'm going to say to put on the anti-hero and not magic resist poison, the anti-hero and obstinate tag team. So now you still have your fair share of defense plus some, actually. Plus, you know, you got more power to your obstinate or to your martial blessing. We're also going to take off the extra attack poison, and clear as day, re-add on the, you know, same perk. Is just, where is it? It's just with its complementary item, if I can find it. There it is. Which, you know, has the burst and attack sessions on it. Next, we're taking off Assassin, and we're actually going to put on the Assassin, the double skill of Assassin. Although, yes, it really leaves no difference. You're just getting that bonus stat with it, which would actually be Clairvoyance. Oops. Fuck, what did I take off? I took off, okay. So, that is pretty much, that's just with, another reason why I actually chose Assassin. It just based my mind, and I'm gonna, actually put that in my notes real quick. Let me just, alright. I could write down shit real quick, trust me. But the reason why I actually have Assassin with Clairvoyant, or Assassin instead of the Saber, is because Saber is, you know, based off that. Besides the punny part of the fact that Assassins aren't as honest, much like the Pirate, I mean, the double skill section of it is still very nice to have, where it literally goes with you and pretty much tag teams up the items. So pretty much what you're doing is pretty much you're doubling up like the Martial Blessing and the Clairvoyance, and tagging on just a second set of them within one set spot. So with that being said, we're locked down to these set of skills. And actually, I'm gonna, there we go, and I'm gonna actually just, there we go. So you're like, okay, you got all that. Are you gonna put like a Martial Blessing and Monstrous Strength? No need, we already have Martial Blessing. And you're like, okay, then, you know, and same thing with the Wisdom and Desperation and, you know, the Clairvoyance. There's no need for it. Instead, because, you know, we already have practically everything we have here. We don't need very much more. So with that being stated, this is when I say add mana recoup and independent action. And this is literally the, oops, there we go. This is literally the entire build. For both sides, I combine them both right here into a stronger mash. It's just they're not as, you know, they're pretty much combined based off of the double skills. So, oops, wrong button. So with that being said, everything's pretty much been mashed together. She got both an offensive, defensive build on her, which, you know, pretty much equals out to her attack thing. Although, you know, it's still it's fairly offensive compared to defensive. You know, much like her stats you see in front of you, it keeps that nice strong, you know, balance between the two. I don't know why I said strong, but it keeps that nice balance between the two, and it keeps, you know, her stats looking the same way in a very balanced orientation. So, we're going over her outfits. Her base outfit she had during the anime when you go to fight her, or not when you fight her, but when Nero goes to fight her. Her outfit, her base pirate outfit. I was not very fond of this, actually. I thought it was very bland, actually. And then her pirate clothing, which actually made her feel like a pirate. Like, this makes her feel more of a pirate than the other one. But, yeah, a very simplistic look, you know, very nice. Although, if you ask me, I'd rather have seen, I would have played as Drake in the clothing she had while she was just chilling at the bar, honestly. Like, literally, I would play as that. And then, instead of a pirate, she got the cowboy look here. And don't ask me why, I have no idea. But fan service, I guess, but clearly I prefer wearing off the alternate outfit that comes with the servant, so. Yeah, now we equip Mystic Codes, and what Mystic Code did I get? What the hell? And, oh, that's the date obtained, okay. Wait, what? Okay, give me a sec to find this. What did I unlock? Son of a bitch. Okay, this is gonna piss me off. Where is it? It said I unlocked. Oh, okay. I guess I hit it. So, anyways, based off of everything that is put up, her skill is quite simple and really easy to get down. And no matter what you do, I think even in like either the last stream or the stream before that, I damn well warned you, and it's the time. The active skill I'm going to be using for her, Defenseless Mr. Shinji. And you think I'm joking? No, I'm being dead ass serious. We're using this. But I just confirmed that this is going to be what I'm using. I don't give two shits. I'm going to oops. Besides the fact that, you know, Shinji is her master during this show, you know, it has a reduced earth, which I don't give a shit about. And it's the, like, pretty much all this really is this feels like a something. It just feels like it was purposely meant just for her, and just, you know, just because of her. And I'm thinking, really? Because, you know, it got the ability to just take damage. Otherwise, it's just got the golden rule and, you know, growth period, which is pretty much just give me type skills. Where it's like, okay, I need this, just hand it over here, make it easier, and, you know, shit like that. And honestly, I didn't even give a shit about the install skills. And as you can tell, besides the reduced earth, everything else is an A rank. They're not even worth really bothering about. Like, the install skills on this is trash. But just because of the name and just because of the name of the skill, Mystic Code, that's what I'm using. I swear to goodness, it does you just as fine. Plus, it's a distraction. Like, and, you know, based off of how dishonest pirates are, they're gonna use some sort of distraction to do whatever they're gonna do. So, with that being said, this is what we got to play with. But initially, the only reason why is because I don't give two shits, and with the build I gave you, even an idiot should be able to master this one. Oof. I'd hate to see what her one thing looks like. But yeah, guys, literally, I'm gonna be... You think I'm screwing around? We are literally using that damn Mr. Shinji right now. I am not joking with you. This is seriously gonna be what we use. And as a refresher, I have not played this within a good little bit of time. Besides the guys, oops, that's the block button. Besides, I forgot how to dash. There we go, that's how you dash. Besides certain few things, I have not really played this. I've been playing other games, so I cannot promise nothing. Her full fire skill, like I said, I'm very oriented on the guns. Not, like, she's not very quick upon doing anything. She just walks forward and straight and shoots the shit out of you. Ships aboard. Very hard to control, actually. They don't give you too much of a control here, especially in small places. Not too much control on her. That was the crossfire. Just because I like to shoot the shit out of everything. Where am I at? Yeah, we need to go over here. And as you can see, I still have that damn install skill up. And what the fuck? What the hell? Okay, is that supposed to distract me or the opponents? But and her McBree skill is very offensive, stuff like that. She's also very nice at comboing. I may have forgot to say that, but that's what makes her so fun, is because of her ability to, you know, combo really well and keep a good high combo. Good for PvP if that's what you're wanting. And what the fuck is this skill going on here? Her full fire again, and I'm gonna show you what the, you know, broader thing. As you can see, there's not, you can't sharp turn it. Really, it's a very broad move. You can't do too much with it, but it's still one of the fun things to use. And you know, in air, all she does is shoot people, so fun. And you know, money, because I'm a greedy player. Up yours if you don't like that idea. And her drive skill. Oh, well, that explains what took it over. She'll, you know, shoot off her cannons. Damn. Ruler must have done some good damage to the guy if he went down like that. Shit. Oops, I can't jump for that. But as you could tell, you know, you're fairly fine with that. No real problem here. So, I think maybe, if I'm not mistaken, Drake, like, there's still outfits I don't have that, you know, Drake, you know, does support. Just, you know, I don't have them. Better view of her crossfire, because I remember the last time I used it, you know, you didn't get too much of a see on it because it, you know, zoomed in and, you know, focused on something else. And you can only activate one of these at once. So you can't spam them off like usual. It's just that. And, huh. You know, I did not anticipate this. Bitch, put the gun down. Oh. I thought that was on for. Okay, this bitch is throwing that over. Okay, we're done. But yeah, a very fun player, and you know, although I don't use her as much, I don't mean that like I don't like her, just I don't play as her because of the simple fact I don't really, there's other servants I prefer to play as. Otherwise, I would play as her more, just, you know, there's other, servants I play as. But I recommend playing as her. I honestly think she's one of the higher tier in my opinion, you know, gameplay wise. So, Shit. Okay. And, okay, we need to do something about this. I can't continue until I show off the noble phantasm. I don't want him dead yet. But, for those people who came in the, for the people who were here, as a, you know, on what I have again, just in case anyone needs to see, I'm gonna have this back up. I'm actually gonna need to, I'll be right back, so. Alright guys, I'm back. Sorry about that, I had to take care of something. Same shit, different day. So. There we go. Ah, son of a bitch, that wasn't enough. Okay, well, time to just... You could also change directions and stuff like that. I know I walked in one direction when doing that, but... That's because I forgot to immediately mention you can change direction, but it is what it is. Shinji! Plus, I think that's also one of their throwaway tags. And then Drake's Noble Phantasm. Lucky little bitch, isn't she? Very cocky. Hey, you bitch. Oh, shit. Okay, that's what I get for being cocky. Yeah, get your ass out here. Beep beep, bitch. Plus, I mean, she's just a fun character, just boing. Ah, fuck off. But yeah, guys, very simple to use her. Ah, fuck off. So. No, I don't want to say. Fuck off. I don't know, okay, shit. But now it's time to get into the multiplayer aspect of the game. The part of the game where everyone, you know, wants to play, so the two viewers watching custom match, I'm creating the room, you find the room, you want to join, have at it. I would love to have more of a fight. The room code is, the room number is 3257. Join if y'all like. It'll be more than fun to have you guys. Plus, it might be the one and only custom games up there, so. But moving on, hey, look at how convenient that is. Drake is right next to it. Look at how convenient that is. But same concept here. It's just I'm actually going to. I showed you my gun. Like I would show you the difference between my gun and ship usage. Is just. I might actually. How's it going, Dark? Lope? Yeah, I'm gonna call you Lope. I'm gonna just call you Dark. Well, I thought to extend the invitation now anyways. I'm glad you made it. So, but if you did not figure out or understand anything as of why I put anything where, you know, just go back, read what you need to read, or listen to my rambling about, you know, her skills and why to have what there and my reasoning behind it, and it should catch you up pretty well. But otherwise, I mean, you know. But since, I mean, online is pretty different from offline actually. So with that being said, I'm not going to use the same exact skills. Usually I do, is just for her, like I said, there's a few sets I do enjoy playing with, so I'm going to change up my playstyle here. So, with that being said, I am not going to have boarding ship because, like I said, it's very hard to hit that skill because of how hard it is to turn it. With that being said, I'm still having crossfire. Crossfire will also make me leap, you know, away, and it can be kind of hard to keep a hold of where I went. So, especially if you don't use the lock-on. The target lock, it'll be extremely hard to go and keep track of the players. So I will recommend keeping that. It has a 16.80 with an 11-second cooldown. Same exact cooldown, if I'm not mistaken, as offline. But I mean, reduced power. I can't tell you how much power she has, just base power, because I don't know. They don't tell nobody nothing about this. So next, I will actually keep on the Macabri because of the fact it's still got its 25 attack power with 12-second cooldown. Same exact two skills from the first run, and then we're gonna have full fire, which is the move where you just see her just walking close, you know, just slowly walking in, you know, shooting at you. That's same skill is just, you know, as a long range attack. This build is going to be more meant for long range. this has a 10-second, but 10 attack power with 14 seconds. But I do believe that's with, 10 attack per shot, if I'm not mistaken. So, but I cannot tell and guarantee you that for sure. But and the last item I was going to recommend, it's a hard debate between Make Way, which pretty much is gonna have your cannons fire from left to right, and that could be hard to hit with, or you got smashed into smithereens, which I prefer to use, not because of the increased power, because I'm taking out the 16.80 attack skill of boarding ship for 10 attack power. It's not always about power, it's about how well you could use the ability and how the ability feels to you. So with that being said, oh man, damn you, but well done. Sorry, I had a message and I went to see what that was, and okay, that was good. I appreciate that message, but I'm going with Smash Smithereens is because it's gonna go directly in front of you instead of a left-right combo. So instead of that chance of hitting your opponent, it has a better chance of going in front instead of that side bullshit. You got a better shot, in my opinion, of hitting it. And if I'm not mistaken, that 14, it has it got 2 attack power more than the other one, but has an extra second of cooldown, which can make the difference in the game. But that's initially the skill set I'm going to use for her. And here we are with our next character. And let me just re-put up the name because fucking bloody, oops. Francis Drake. I said period, bitch. There we go. I may have also misspelled Francis, I think. Who gives a shit. Alright, so with this build, this is where it's going to differ from online offline. I'm still going to keep my Imperial Rider, because I still have that one Rider skill with me. I am actually going to put in the Archer Imperial Archer, because like I said, I'm going with longer range attacks. And if I'm not mistaken, and just so that, just so you know, let's see what this is about. I bet you do, bitch. I bet you do. But, and just, I like doing this so that, you can see where I'm coming from as well, so it's not just, take my word for it. No, I will go back and purposely show you. I have a close range, a long range, rush, long range. So with that being stated, clearly the Imperial Archer is very well needed. So so with that being stated, I want to make sure to keep that, oops, son of a bitch, no, ha, fuck off, damn. But with that being stated, next I'm throwing Imperial Privileged Assassin, and I'm throwing on Imperial Privileged Saber, as well as Imperial Privileged Lancer. So I'm pulling out all the stops. So I'm going to quickly make up all her power that she lost. From offline to online, both Lancer and Rider increases my rush attack. Both Saber and Assassin will increase my long range attack. And Archer's the only one that gets that long range, the bonus to long range. Everything else is useless. So that leaves off with only a few skill sets left. And I would recommend I recommend Obstinate and Anti-Hero because, it definitely will hurt you. And my final skill is going to be Martial Blessing. But this is where I say, this is where you need to make more of a decision. You could either do what I'm doing, or, you could take off Anti-Hero and put on the Clairvoyance, or you could go and keep the Clairvoyance on, or keep and replace one of your Imperial privileges based off of the skill you don't like. Like if you prefer more of the, if you're not too fond of her rush attack skill and whatnot, then you could take off, you know, the Rider and Lancer because they're rush attack based. So if you don't have a rush attack, they're both extremely useless to have. So with this being said, I'm just going to go and take off Imperial Anti-Hero and swap that out for Clairvoyance. And with that, this is the build for I would use for online fighting with Drake. Okay, bang. Well, I do appreciate the thought of you coming out to watch these more. You guys keep blowing that up and I'm like, son of a bitch, I want to read what's going on, but you know. But all good to me. This is the skill set I recommend using though. I know these guides are one of those guides. Now this is where I'm going to say, usually people go with the ceremonial sword. I'm going with the dimension sword. So that, you know, I can keep more of a range distance on her, so. But I'm glad you guys are enjoying yourself. And you know, you got something to talk about, so. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh, I see what you did here. I see what you're doing here. I see it. I seen that real quick. But usually with how these guys go, I usually go and have and pretty much gives people the chance to join the game at any given time while I'm explaining everything. So, but since no one's here, you can't really explain nothing to somebody. So, with that being stated, you know, that gives a chance for more people to prep up and come into the plate. And I'm also purposely choosing these servants as well because I like having the battle as even as possible so you don't just, oh well, shit, he made the, you know, team very biased with him. In this case, I'm making it very unbiased by keeping everybody even. Plus, on top of that, this is one of the very few times where I got the excuse to pull this bullshit out. And, you know, get themed battles like this. And, honestly, I don't even give a shit. So. Alright, so I'm gonna get my ass handed to me. I will pre-warn you, I'm not as good as my opponent here, and oh, look at that. I'm not very good against in PvP, I'm actually rather shitty. Huh. Bitch. Oh, I feel like I'm actually dodging these things pretty well. Alright, hey bitch, that's my move. She caught me. I got caught. Now, this is where I say, fuck this, I retreat. Also, as a pointer, and I know my opponent is, you know, against me, but I mean, I could care less. Another pointer for PvP battles, I know a lot of people don't know this or, you know, completely space the fact this is a thing. If you go back to your base, you heal up immediately. Like your health bar goes up. Bitch, don't do that to me. Just as a heads up, so you don't, Man, I'm making this look easy. And just give it time, I'll get my ass handed to me. I'll get killed somehow. And although it did, you know, it's hard to see that, it is what it is. I know when I demonstrated it earlier, it didn't, you know, do too well, or too hot. It was actually covered up, so. Oh, I got caught. I'm more the strategist over the bronze. Who am I kidding? When it comes down to online play, I suck. I can think of things really well, and performing them, on the other hand, no. Oh shit, that hurt. I got caught. Oh man, this is not going very well. In the middle of a match. That's why I hate it when that happens. Actually, no, I'm not going to use that yet. No, take that down, bad boy. There we go. Screw you, you ain't having that yet. Yeah, I'm gonna definitely lose, but hey. Oops. I was just down there. Oh well. Well, I can't say at least it's a very well balanced. Oh wait, no, there's. I was about to say at least there's a variety of troops, but nope. Ha! Oh, you being funny, aren't you? Yes. Oh, you being funny. You're really funny. You think you're funny. Hold on, guys. I'll be right back. And I actually like that outfit of yours. Let me tell you, that's a nice looking outfit. I'll be right back, and I will explain a little more on, you know, shit like that. So. Alright, sorry about that. I had to take care of something, so. Alright, so. I hate this damn thing. Sorry, I would read these so much better if I could, but I can't. But yeah, no, with that being stated and everything, like, usually that's how these streams go is, you know, I'm not, like, I will make this clear, I'm not asking you to come back, I'm not asking you to, you know, sub, I'm not asking for a like, I could care less what you do with this. If you have any constructive criticism as of, you know, my build, leave a comment on it, I'll take and look at what you said, and I'll retry it in, you know, a new fashion. If you have a playstyle you want to use, or you use, and you're like, hey, I should use this, give it to me, I'll use it, I'll play with it, I'll see what you got. As, like, pretty much the goal of these guys are to help everybody out. Like, it's not about views or nothing like that, it's never been about the views, I'll say that immediately. So, I'm doing this literally to help everybody else out. Because you got an idiot who sits in his room, who has a notebook, who writes down, you know, notes, stuff like that, who experiments for hours on ends on these games just to, you know, get the perfect build for myself or, you know, stuff like that. And then I just go and share that with everyone else because why not? So, and if you were to use these builds, which, you know, they're just guidelines on what I would do, and it's all based off my own playstyle and stuff like that, not off of what is most popular. Because the goal of these guides are to, you know, have all of them uniquely built to their own character. Because I'm just gonna show off like the, install skills because I don't have to switch back to each character. Starting off from the Charlemagne, which, why the fuck is there a G? Why the fuck is there a G? That. Like, starting off with Charlemagne, you can see where I started with that. Then, you know, Nero's also the same saber class, you know, servant. But here I have a completely different build with her. And, you know, so forth, you know, they all have their own unique build, you know. Some dominate the yellow, where, you know, some doesn't. Others, you know, dominate the other stuff. You know, it's all about how it's done and stuff like that. Like, I purposely left it like this to where, you know, it's more defined to each character instead of just, I'm gonna just pop, you know, the same skill on every person and, you know, offline battle, I'm just gonna put Obstinate and Anti-Hero on and no damage type deal. Is like, that's not as fun. But that's what these guides are for, is to help, so. And usually with how they go is I'll start with the active skills, then move to install skills, I'll display the costumes, do an offline fight, and then do the same thing online. I know the very first video, the Charlemagne video, did not have that, and I know some in between don't have the fight as well for online due to the fact that I couldn't do it because it is scarce to find online players, but I mean, at the very least, you know, whether you just came in here to watch the game or not, this is what the game is. Well, this is what these guides are for. And what I'm happy about, because if I'm not mistaken, I'm actually going to check. I can't check here because it's, the character roster isn't set up like offline. If I'm not mistaken, next week, I also do the streams every Saturday. So keep that in mind, like this is an every Saturday thing. I don't want to go to one of these. Like, it's an every Saturday thing. I try to go and get something posted, you know. You know, usually this is how it goes. I mean, it does usually end at the end of Soul is right. Usually, I'm done with the stream afterwards. I'm just trying to, explain this more to you and how the rough estimate goes. Because usually, by now, somebody would have left, actually. Usually one person, watches this, then, way after it's posted, you get more views on this. So while you're here, I'm definitely trying to, make sure you understand what goes on here. But I'm also trying to, get better with these guides instead of making it so blunt. Fuck off. Like, if I'm not mistaken, next week is actually one of my favorite servants to play as. If I'm not mistaken, it should be, Lancelot. And boy, do I love Lancelot. I suck as him, I will admit. I really do suck as Lancelot, but I love the guy. And if I'm not mistaken, let me check. Oh shit, it is Lancelot. But next week we're going to be looking at Lancelot, the very first Berserker of the game. One of my personal favorites. Not exactly the best as him, but still one of my favorite characters to play as in the game. And, I'll guide you on, what I like about, this particular Berserker and all that other fun stuff. So, but, from here, that's kind of how everything's ran, is I'll choose the servant, show you the costumes, and stuff like that. Now, I will say, if you're here to, like, with the costumes, because I just pulled it up, if I don't own the costume, I'm not displaying it. Like, I'm not going out, like, example, I don't have, the elf, the dark elf, I think it was, the DLC costume for Lancelot. I have none of Lancelot's DLCs. So, I'm not going to go out of my way to buy them. Like, straight up, I will not do it. Unless, even after, someone prepaid to, do it, I will not, go out to buy the costumes. If I don't own it, it's not being displayed. So, as a heads up there. But yeah, Lancelot's going to be the next servant out. And, this is where I say, I gotta, hold on. I gotta read what's going on. Because like I said, I can't read it, when I'm talking. Oh yeah, no, I mean, I just like displaying them because, much like, I've realized there's not very many games that actually display off, the costumes. Like, if I'm not mistaken, I look for a costume model for each costume before buying them, and all I find is like a picture of it, and I'm like, that's not what I'm talking about. Like, I want a full-blown, show me a model type deal where, like, I'm just gonna pull out Drake and redo this. Like where, you have the costume, and, someone would, literally show you the costume. And instead of just, a base picture on the costume like that, whereas an actual, this is what it looks like type deal. And I try to go and display that for everyone, so it's like, I'm gonna try to unlock that, or I want to buy that type deal, so you don't waste money as well. Because I bought some outfits, bought some other outfits, stuff like that. It's just pretty much to save everyone the time, trouble, and stuff like that of looking for, the general gist of all that. So, the convenience of all of it is the point. So, oh yeah, that's fine. But I'm probably gonna head off of the game too. That's usually how these guides go. And the goal is to have one posted every Saturday. So pretty much next week, besides the rare occasions where I might hit one Monday or Wednesday, there's also been times where I thought about hitting Friday. I would check on like, streams then for this game, but literally those are the only other days I'll hit it besides Saturday. Saturday is almost a guaranteed thing, and that's that. But otherwise, you got your rare chances of finding, when I get my lazy ass off of, to show off everything else.
So, but the odds are is going to be next Saturday. If you want to hop by for Lancelot as well, he's going to be next displayed, and I'm actually looking forward to Lancelot, let me tell you. Not quite good with him, but definitely have a bunch of fun with him. So with that, I mean, I hope you learned something. You don't have to like, you don't have to sub. I could honestly care less about any of that. I mean, I just hope you learned something. That's all I cared about in the end. So with that being said, I'll see you in the next stream, maybe. And yeah. Oh, what the fuck did I do? Oh, I hate this. You too, Lope. Yeah. These streams also take, generally the goal is to try to have these taken no more than an hour and a half. There's been times where it's gone over. There's been one incident where I purposely made it go over like 2 hours. I think it purposely went over the time just because of how much I like that character, so. But if you ever want to learn to play as the other characters, they're also in the background as well, so.